Hey everybody, all right. It's your boy, I don't know why I'm saying that, Jeff, with Tournament of Champions podcast. I'm introing us for both JD and Kyle. I had to split this episode up with the past two because we recorded it in one session on Skype, and it went way too long, like longer than like Return of the King or some shit. And it had like 16 endings like we normally do on the podcast. So, obviously we had to cut things up. So, the topic of discussion this week, we're wrapping up our mid-year top 5 lists for 2019 so far. And we're discussing what we think has been the best medium so far, 2019 TV, because movies been meh and games been meh. So this has been a very energizing discussion or whatever. No, just kidding. We're all tired by this point. So definitely continue listening, and it's a fun ride. So check it out. All right, top 5 TV, which is honestly this has like been the fucking greatest shit ever this year. TV. This is a medium that's just hit on, in my opinion, hitting on like all cylinders, whereas other
picking up the slack.
Completely. Like even like the numbers are just so much greater. Like I'm totally dissatisfied just listing like a top 10 at the end of the year. At this point,
yeah,
I have like a top 20 I could talk about.
Same here, happily, yeah.
Or I could just go ahead and start with this one. My number 5 is Sex Education.
Ooh, oh wow, that stayed up there for you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it really.
It stayed up because it's
because it's about sticks being erect. You get it?
It's good. It was really good.
I was just really impressed with this.
It's great.
I remember writing it off completely when I saw trailers of it. And Kyle, I don't know if you remember this in the chat when you were like, "Hey, I think I keep seeing something about sex education on Netflix," and I was like,
"Nope,
yeah, I'm not watching it."
That's exactly. You're so dismissive. You're like not doing that at all.
I don't care. Ozza Butterfield, who gives a shit? Like
Ozza, who gives a shit field?
Yeah. Ozza not gonna watch Field.
Ozza not watching that.
Yeah. But this show is it's just it's more than just charming and heartfelt and whatnot. But it's
more than just a show that has a hot punk rock girl that.
Who kind of resembles Margot Robbie.
Yeah, weirdly, yeah.
In a great way.
Yeah, in a great
the best ways.
Maybe in the best ways.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that this show did even bother to live up to its the second word in the title. Like, because I felt coming out of the show, I felt like educated on teenagers' experience nowadays.
Yeah.
Or even like teenagers' experiences, like when they actually decided to openly talk about shit. Because not that I was completely sheltered, but it was just some of the stuff they're talking about was like taboo, and I guess you could still say it is.
Yeah.
Even being a full-grown adult, wanting to have those conversations with teachers or parents.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, just something about it like opened my eyes to things in a new way. Especially like there's like an abortion episode in it, and holy shit, man.
Yeah, that was heavy.
That was
stuff.
a heavy episode, and it kind of like opened my eyes a little bit. That episode, and it made me like it was just powerful. It was just a powerful fucking episode. And this and Russian Doll has been interchangeable, but I guess just at the time we recorded, I just decided to go with this one.
Yeah.
Russian Doll's fucking great.
Russian Doll is amazing.
I'm hoping somebody brings it up. But anyway, I love Sex Education. Ozza Butterfield really surprised me in this one. He's perfect for the role of like the awkward kid with the weird mom. It's perfect for this.
Yeah.
Role. And Gillian, whatever, Anderson.
Hot.
Good casting.
Yeah, great casting. Great casting.
Man, she got herself a little education too. So it's not even just the kids that are learning. She discovered some stuff about herself.
Yeah, it's like a Disney movie, but way more sex.
Yeah, way more sex.
Dude, same amount of lessons learned though.
And the story with the story with the best friend who's gay and also black.
Oh
and,
yeah.
Holy shit, dude! His shit was heartbreaking.
His stuff with his dad was just
dude,
oh my
killed
god.
Me. Oh my god!
Because his dad wasn't even like, he was kind of keeping it real, like not judging him, but just saying like, dude, if you go out like that, like, why are you
want a hard life for his son?
Essentially, why are you making this choice? Like not criticizing the actual choice itself, but just know what this.
Yeah,
you know what the consequences of this is. Yeah,
why would you want to bring this on your son? He doesn't want to see his son hurting. It wasn't like a gay bashing thing.
Right, it's not a hate thing. It's just an ignorance of that being a choice. thinking that that's something that you have control over within yourself. Like, it's not. That's who he is. But it's just not understanding, It's like square peg, round hole. You're just not going to get it. But, it comes around
and it's
a little bit.
And it's got a traditional teen romance to it too. I love that angle, and it feels like it sounds like they're gonna be playing the long game with it. They're coming back for a second season.
Oh, good.
Yeah, right.
And the season ended on a note that's like, oh man, I hope they end up together or something. Like, oh man. So it feels like they have a plan there. I'm hoping, knock on wood. But good, really left an impression on me. I was very surprised at the balance of really good balance of. It's a British show too, and that always surprises me when those really work for me because sometimes that humor doesn't always
you don't like Good Omens?
The language isn't always universal. Yeah, Good Omens is like too British. Like settle down with the fucking British
super
shit.
British.
No, I'm out on all that. I feel like I'm gonna catch British if I watch that.
In the trailer alone,
Yeah,
when they're talking, he's like, "I'll go talk to you about something." He's like, "Yes, the apocalypse." Yes. I'm like, "No, sorry, Doctor Who, get the fuck out of here with that."
That's so funny.
No,
that's how David Tennant talks for real. That's so funny.
But when it's like when he's more grounded, it's not as obvious. When he's playing something eccentric, he looks like fucking.
Yeah, they're very cartoonish.
He looks like Daredevil with long hair. He's wearing like the circular, like Matt Murdock.
That's just one of many looks, because they go through many decades and popular eras together.
Gotcha.
There's one episode in episode 3, I think, where like they do like a cold open, and it lasts for 20 minutes because it's spanning the course of the main two characters' relationship, and it goes through like Caesar's era, it goes through King Louis era, it goes through like when Jesus was around era and stuff like that, and like it goes through like many points in time, famous points in time where they come together, and then like 20 minutes in, it's like Good Omens. I'm like, what the fuck? That was the cold open?
Okay, that's cool.
That was a really cool part of the show, and then I don't think it ever hit that point ever again.
No.
I don't know. I mean, it was enjoyable. It was silly. It was whatever, zany. But
that's only 6 episodes. I might give it a watch if I ever get caught up on some of this other more important shit. But
might be a miniseries too. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a 6-episode miniseries or something. I don't think it's coming back.
Whatever. That's fine. Sex Education. No, that's coming back. Coming back, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Diggity.
I don't get it.
Keeping it up.
I don't get it. Just
Keeping
back.
it up.
All right. Anyway. Sorry. You know what, JD, you're gonna close. Kyle, what's your number 5? JD's gonna close this out.
Oh wow, I'm honored.
Wow, look at that. I wish
because I actually watched TV this year. This is great.
Oh, that's so something. Well, the only reason I have this at number 5 and not Russian Dolls, speaking of interchangeable number 5s, is because it's a new love for me. Because even though Jeff talked about it often, he didn't talk about it loud enough. And that's the OA.
That's a push for me, buddy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I forgot you finished it.
It is.
Wow. That's cool. Okay, cool, man. So, JD, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Barry.
That's a push. That's a push, but that's just number 4.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's. I'll just get to my number 4 then, and then we'll talk about Barry.
Okay.
My number 4 is Dark Side of the Ring. It's a docuseries.
Oh, damn it! Yeah, man, I should have.
Cucky documentaries in here.
I really should have included that in this list, but I'm glad you did because God, it's good.
This is another one where kind of like observation was my sci-fi bias, letting that come in. This is my wrestling bias coming in.
Yeah.
But even so, even if you're not a wrestling fan, watching this shit and you're like, I had no idea people like think this much about wrestling and like are this conniving to each other about fucking wrestling. That's just crazy. And there's stories here that even an educated wrestling fan like me, I'm like, who the fuck is Gino Hernandez?
Yeah, exactly. And we should regionally, we should fucking know who that guy is.
He was like as huge as like the Von Erichs around here, that's like the Dallas's like staple around that time. That was like a huge deal in the 80s.
Yeah.
But Gino, that's like a thing where I had no idea who that dude was, and then to find out like not only did the show make me care about him, but the fact that he was had so much potential, and then when it goes through this like mysterious murder that nobody knows who really did it, and there's still like it's interesting how like some of the episodes take like a crime show type of approach.
Yeah,
it's like, maybe this guy did it, or this, because there are a couple murders that happened in the wrestling world.
Yeah,
the other one involves somebody more well known, Bruiser Brody, Mick Foley's idol.
Yep.
And that happened in front of wrestlers. Like that was like a stabbing.
Yeah. But it happened in where it was Japan,
Mexico, I think,
or was it Mexico?
I think it was like somewhere where like wrestlers kind of own the everything.
Okay,
You know what I mean? Or either Mexico or Puerto Rico or something like that, where like wrestlers pretty much like, I don't know, they controlled a lot of shit. Like they had a lot of power.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's just fucking wrestling, but like, it's so weird to me. But like, yeah, they had some kind of pull or something to, the justice system just totally fucked over that case and didn't give the people that were witnesses summons in time. Like the case was over by the time I think it was Tony Atlas and another gentleman that were witnesses that were gonna like point the finger at a guy who murdered Bruiser Brody, and they were like, oh yeah, our summons arrived like a week after the case, so like they had no idea the case had already happened, and that the guy was found like not guilty or something, and
that's a bunch of bullshit.
Man.
It was Puerto Rico. Yeah,
it was Puerto Rico. Yeah, and it's crazy. Like when cops were called there, they're like, "Oh, but come on, what's really going on here?" Because it's wrestling. Everybody was like, "Come on."
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like the blurred lines between reality and just fucking fiction. Like, as a casual observer from the outside, like, I wouldn't be able to reconcile that. I would think it's all,
especially in the 80s, where you didn't know.
Yeah,
you didn't know what was real and what wasn't back then. You do now. You do know it's all fucking, because it's all over the internet.
Sure.
You know that it's fictionalized and stuff. But in the 80s, those lines were still blurred.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So that's just crazy to have to like explain to them. No, he's really stabbed and he's not, because like that. It sounds like a lot of time was spent trying to convince people that it really happened.
Sure.
Whereas it could have been saving his life instead. Oh man, that's some sad shit.
Yeah, that one was sad.
There's some more well-known stuff like the Savage story with Miss Elizabeth and Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels' Montreal Screwjob. Yeah, they covered that, and they even revealed stuff that I didn't know. And I know that story like through and through. I know that story, but they captured some stuff on camera with Jim Cornette that I didn't know about either.
Yeah,
like even the internet's like, oh, Jim Cornette just confessed that it was his idea. Like nobody knew that. Nobody fucking knew that. But I love the ending line of that where he's like, I swear to God, my wife better take me to piss on Vince Russo's grave because he's going to die before me. And if she doesn't, she's out of the will. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, this guy fucking hates this other writer. Vince Russo was like the guy that like, if you watch, you'll watch the documentary and figure it out. But like, he was like one of like the main writers that helped kind of like bring out the Attitude Era characters like Goldust and Stone Cold and like all these fucking boundary pushing characters. He was like credited with a lot of that stuff. But yeah, he's like he says bro all the time, and he's just a fucking dick. Nobody likes him now. Washed up. Sorry, Vince. He's not going to listen to this. He might. He's got a lot of free time.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a good point. I don't know. He seeks out people that talk shit about him, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that show though. It's definitely recommended. It's on Viceland.com. For free for some reason, but yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
And I think you said they're all up on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I found them somewhere on YouTube, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And they're totally not. They're like, they're not on Viceland channels. It's like somebody uploaded them, and it wasn't a big like.
Okay, so they
nobody took them down
at
something.
any moment, really, but
any moment, yeah, exactly. That's my number 4. Kyle, what's your number 4? Barry, right?
Yeah, my number 4 is Barry. That's right.
Cool. Yeah,
Barry.
Meow. Man, how about that fucking that one episode that he directed and stuff? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh my God, with the little girl.
One.
Yeah.
Super wacky.
He said he wrote that originally to just be like a throwaway thing in like the beginning part of an episode, and then when they met the girl, it became something else entirely.
That's awesome.
She's like a real stunt coordinator's daughter.
That's bad.
And like it was like, okay, we got to make this like a whole episode thing because it's just become its own thing.
So
now.
good.
Yeah, love it. Oh man, yeah, I love that episode, especially after Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Who wants the luxury of following Game of Thrones, right? And then Barry's like, "Hey guys, you watching Barry? Because holy shit!"
And I'd rather watch Barry than get on the internet and find out what you fucking idiots think about Game of Thrones.
That's so true.
Thank God we had Barry, man.
Oh, man. Somebody said, I swear to God, somebody said that night that Game of Thrones aired. I don't know what episode of Game of Thrones aired at the same time as the Karate Girl episode, but somebody said, y'all can keep talking about Game of Thrones if you want, but that episode of Barry was like one of the best episodes of television ever.
Yeah.
And I thought he was just trolling. I thought he was just trolling and saying fighting words. And I was like, I watched the episode and then I was like, I came back to him and commented and I was like, I thought you were trolling, but you're totally.
Yeah, you thought he was slighting Game of Thrones, but really he was just talking about how great Barry was.
Oh, nice bandwagon jumping on shitting on Game of Thrones. Oh no, this is a very positive Barry post. Okay.
I misunderstood. Yeah. God damn it, that was
Barry,
great. That was
Barry
genius.
Was great.
It was just really good, and it just reminded me of how good last season was. I was just like, God, this show's really fucking outstanding. And I think people are watching like it now. I think people are like on board now, and whereas like a lot of people were still not quite sure about season 1 or weren't watching it yet. So,
people that still haven't watched it yet, I've heard on podcasts and stuff, are like, so was it a comedy or drama?
Yeah, maybe watch it in both, and you'll find out.
The answer is yes.
Supposed to be. Yeah, exactly. Just watch it. It's not like anything you're seeing. Just trust me. Just watch it. It's so good. The fact that it can balance both so effortlessly, and it's like there's some scenes where it's like tragic and funny at the same time. And I love that.
Yeah.
Like when he's doing the audition, like it's like in a finale episode or like the penultimate episode where he's doing the audition in front of the movie director, and he gets distracted by information. But so we know that he's distracted by information that's very serious to his situation, but the director doesn't know that at all. So he's like just kind of like plowing through the lines with no emotion.
Right.
And then he just goes, I gotta go. And he leaves, and the director's like, man, that guy didn't give a shit at all.
I love
like
that part.
Super
Oh my
impressed
God.
by it. It's like so fucking hilarious, but you're like so worried about the fate of a character at the same time. Yeah, how they balance that shit is just very impressive. God damn it. I love the show so much. Yeah. NoHo Hank is a star.
God, Hank is...
He is
so
such a
good.
stealer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, big time.
So Barry, I thought we were friends. I mean, I know that was work, but we're friends, right? Like, no.
That scene in the bus too is just some of the best. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know what the word is for that type of comedy where it's like things are happening around somebody and he doesn't know, he's oblivious to them happening, and then he takes all the credit at the end for all that shit happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where he's like, oh, come on, guys, we're going to go get them, right?
Yeah.
And
we
then,
did
it. By the time he's like, we ready, go, everybody's dead already, and they're already out. And he's like, oh, I did it.
So perfect. So
I love that type of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes. It ended on such a great note. Just a equally impressive cliffhanger for season 1, too.
Yep.
Shit, that's so good. I can't wait. I'm getting chills thinking about it coming back.
At least I think we're getting this one like at least once a year, right? Like they're not going to be stretching the shit out like HBO tends to do after the first couple seasons.
I thought Barry did season 1 last year? I guess it was.
Yeah, season 1 was last year. It was a fall show or like late summer. So I could
see them doing a returning next year around the same time in March.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
That'd be cool.
They renewed the show in early April in the middle of season 2.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So
I mean, they know.
I think
it's coming.
I think it'll be same time next year.
yeah, I'm sure they already have like a roadmap.
The show can't be that expensive.
Yeah, I mean,
It ain't Game of Thrones or Westworld, you know.
A lot of money just came off the books, you know.
Or even Watchmen, you know. Watchmen feels like it's going to be a little bit expensive.
Oh yeah,
can't wait to see that.
It's got such a big cast, you know. It's even the way that they do it's going to be expensive, but just Don Knotts probably, or not Don Knotts, Don Johnson.
Don Knotts.
Hey,
Wow.
hey,
Whoa, what are we doing here?
it's the Ghost and Mr. Watchman. He used Bonami, whatever.
I'm super glad Scooby showed up to help me solve this.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Oh my god. Sorry, what were you trying to say?
I'm just glad we all know who Don Knotts was, so that was a joke.
We all know who Don Knotts was because even though he was before our time, he was in all of our cartoons.
Yeah, he's in all the
He
cartoons.
would show up, hey, it's me, Don Knotts. I'm like, they draw a human and fucking Bugs Bunny? Like, what the fuck's going on right now?
I watched Mayberry PD and like on like Nick at Night with my grandma, and I definitely watched like Ghost and Mr. Chicken.
My grandparents, yeah.
But yeah, I was just saying like Don Johnson is probably not expensive or not that cheap on his own, and just I mean the cast.
I don't know. Who knows?
Cast itself, dude, it's fucking Nash Bridges, man.
Yeah, okay, good point. I guess.
Yeah, he said convincingly.
You win, I think.
Thank you.
It's Nash Bridges. Two words.
It's in syndication on like 5 different channels right now. Trust me.
I feel like you think that that's more important information than it actually is.
Yes.
It's not important at all. It's just literally the only thing that I know from.
Oh, shit. So that's Kyle's number 4. JD, what's your number 4?
Okay, so I put Russian Doll at number 4.
Oh, you did it! Wow.
So we do get to talk about it. This is like falling into a Quiet Place territory for me because I do not want that sequel. Don't think we need it at all.
I know what you're saying. Yes,
and
I agree.
I don't know. I mean, are they going to continue with? Is it Natasha Lyonne? Is that her name? Natasha?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to continue with her.
She co-created the show, so it's like her baby.
Are they going to tell a different story with different people? I don't know. I don't know if I want it. Because the first one was so good as a self-contained.
It was.
I mean, that song is still stuck in my head. Gotta get up to do. Like it's still fucking in there. I loved the fresh approach of like a Groundhog Day story. And with somebody vulgar as shit who's just as like freaked out.
Yeah, who knows?
You know,
I think somebody pointed it out best in like I watched like a roundtable with all these comedy actresses and Natasha was on there, and somebody was like, "I think the best part about your show is that she knows exactly what the right thing to do is, especially after she dies over and over again. She just doesn't want to do any of it.
Yeah, she's just reluctant as shit to do
she doesn't
anything.
Give a shit. Yeah,
it's fantastic, man. Everything about the show is great.
And I love that it's that twist in like I think it's the 3rd episode or something, or maybe end of the.
It's the 3rd one where she meets the guy in the elevator.
Meets the guy, yeah, and I'm like,
we're about to die.
That's a great
all the time.
Oh yeah, I die all the time. Me too. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. That's such a great little twist to this type of story that we only ever get like one person going through it.
Right.
And that's why the punctuation at the end of the season. Is like enough of a reason to not come back to the show.
Yeah, because it was done so well.
Unless you're doing different characters, but they won't. They won't do different characters. I bet money on it.
Yeah. So, but now we're gonna deal with whatever. I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Maybe it's like her friend who goes through it instead or something. I mean, I would like that. I mean, her friend's pretty funny. I've seen her in other stuff.
Oh yeah, the Hey Girl,
the Asian,
the Asian chick
or whatever.
Oh, why would you have to describe her by her race for her?
Birthday baby.
Well, because she's Asian.
Isn't that weird though? Like that should be a very viable way to describe someone, but people will make you feel weird about it.
Yeah, it's because we.
I know. Right?
Yeah. What do you mean Asian?
It's like,
what do you mean? What do I mean? Yeah.
She's the cute Asian lady.
Yeah,
I don't
the one
know
that's
what else
not
to say.
Caucasian. I don't.
It's almost like we're visual creatures, and we describe things with the first thing that comes to mind.
Because if you said the one with the black hair, I'd be like, a few people have black hair.
Yeah, exactly. That's not as specific. I mean, and if you were referring to the blonde one,
I swear to God, there's like a bit in a show where somebody's trying to avoid saying the black person.
Yeah.
And they're going like, no, the guy with the shirt.
The guy with the shirt and the hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason that race gets pointed out on every police scanner, on every police report ever, because it's the most easily identifiable characteristic. So
true.
Well, but cops are racist, though, JD.
All cops are racist, but that's just... It's actually a very bad example. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
Whatever.
We'll bring up cops later on, I assure you.
Maybe.
Probably not.
I will.
Mm.
I mean, not necessarily bringing them. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
I'm going to talk about a show that mentions cops.
Yeah.
And
They say the word cops.
It's a cap. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. That's a good question. So that was JD's number 4. Was Russian Doll. Great show. I actually kind of want to rewatch it. Honestly,
it's an
very easy
watch. Yeah. It's like Dead to Me. Quick and easy.
My number 3 is Too Old to Die Young.
Oh, cool.
This high.
Wow. You really liked it.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Reppin' cuck over here.
I know, I'm a reffin' cuck.
Wow. Well, I bet you like fucking Only God Forgives too, you fucking weirdo.
I actually did.
But you fucking jerk off the Neon Demon, man.
Such a good movie.
Have you seen it? It's like fucking great.
It's really hard to describe like how Refn does this type of thing that he does, but like how Neon Demon kind of explores like witchcraft in his own way.
Mm-hmm.
Too Old to Die Young kind of does that with like tarot cards. I mean, each episode's titled after like tarot cards.
Oh, that's
and
okay.
and then there's some supernatural shit that starts to happen in the last 2 episodes.
Okay.
And, it's just like his way of exploring things is so different than everybody else's.
right. So when does
and there's
Kojima come in
definitely-
and save everybody?
I swear to God, after I finished watching an episode with him in it and messaged you about it, he never showed up again.
Oh,
so
wow.
he's in like one episode.
Just shows
It's like
up in
a
the
cameo.
background, just like tips his sunglasses down or something.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, what the fuck was that all about?
I swear, in terms of how Refn directs things and how slow he directs things, especially because this is pretty much just a long 8 hours, 10 hours, 10-hour movie.
Yeah.
It's 13 hours technically because some episodes are like an hour and a half. A lot of them are.
Yeah, like 3 or more.
Yeah. It's Kojima is in like a 20-minute scene, and in Refn land that's considered a cameo because everybody just stares at each other.
That's like one
Yeah,
page of dialogue if it's a 20-minute scene.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
But look, I'm a slut for that type of style. For that style
Me
of
it's
too.
filmmaking.
cool
Like, let
with-
it breathe.
with the
It's
right
very,
actors,
It's
you know?
very like
Yeah.
Lynchian to me as well, where it's just like, man, this guy's just gonna let this whole entire thing ride, huh?
Yeah.
He's just gonna let
this
He's gonna let this scene breathe.
very much.
Yeah.
As I was watching it, I was just kind of like, this is like Twin Peaks. This is reminding me so much of Twin Peaks right now. It just like in all of the, it's like a not hyper realistic. That's the wrong word. It's like a elevated version of reality, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean,
because
it's a form of
just
surrealism.
It's
you know?
surrealism.
stares at
yeah.
each other. Yeah, surreal. Yeah, like people are just staring at each other, and it's very colorful locations and barely emoting. The episode 4, I think, is where I hit. The episode 3 and 4, I think, is where the ones that he screened for Cannes.
Okay.
Kern.
Kane,
Canese, and that's Kanesi.
Kanesi.
And this, I don't know why I shouted that.
Hey, Kanesi.
That's it sounded like I sneezed. So those are the 2 episodes that he screened for that audience. And when episode 4 ended, I was like, I fucking get it. I get why he screened those 2 episodes because episode 4 has this car chase. It might be 4 and 5. I don't fucking remember now. They all kind of blur together, but there was one specific episode where like it is like the last hour that he screened at Cannes, and like I remember finishing that episode going, that makes all the sense in the world why he'd want to show that one to everybody.
Yeah.
Because there's like a car chase scene that's like hilarious and amazing and stressful. There's some great comedy in it. Like there's some like it's kind of surprising the comedy in it.
In the first episode, the Baldwin guy got me with his.
Oh my god,
Dude, this Kyle,
And
this
his-
guy
his
is
fucking
dragging
purring and, like-
glass up, man. Like
Yeah.
this guy
Nice.
he's like 60 years old and he's been doing coke since fucking he was 2 years old. He is insane and just
Twitching.
oh, it's so awkward.
Yeah.
And he's like growling and doing all these weird
yeah, dude.
things.
And,
It's
like,
so awkward.
and this is him and his daughter are like the part of Miles Teller's character, whose name I don't remember. I'm glad you at least watched that episode. I don't know how far you are into it, but
Yeah,
it's
I'm gonna
definitely like
try to finish it up. I'm gonna try to finish it up
Nice.
this weekend if I can.
Oh, nice.
I'm trying to get to
but,
that this weekend myself. Yeah.
It's fucking it's I don't want to call it a chore, but it's definitely something that you got to go. All right, I'm sitting down and watching this. Like, this is happening.
Yeah, I need
this is my
I need
life now
that,
for a little
and
bit.
I need some filler. Like I need like a 30-minute, like 45-minute break in between episodes. I found.
Yeah, I definitely recommend that, like a comedy or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The Stephen like that those Stephen Baldwin's character, who sounds just like Alec now at this point.
It's weird.
Yeah, it sounds
Very
just
weird.
fucking like him. And his daughter are like the Miles Teller's 2 main things that make him like not a good person at all. Like
Yeah.
that continues Refn's trend of like having these protagonists that like aren't very good people.
yeah.
Like they have these qualities that like are just a little bit off.
And it's not
Like
the
that you just
worst
don't
thing
like
in the
them.
world. It's just a weird thing.
Yeah, it's just not.
It's not conventional by
It's
any
not
means.
great.
Yeah. It's not great,
Also, it might be illegal in some places.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's
Uh,
fine.
but it's not the worst. But it's just not.
It's not great.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got to where John Hawkes finally comes in. He's like an older guy who's killing people and stuff.
No, I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay. And that's when Jenna Malone gets introduced as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, his character is very important to Miles Teller's journey, and gotta be honest, Miles Teller didn't hate him in this. Good job. Okay. He nailed the ref and subtle performance.
Yeah.
Like really well. I love the. I know not a lot of people likes episode 2 because it focused so much on the Jesus guy, who is at the very beginning of the show. He shoots Miles Teller's partner and runs off.
Right. Okay.
So he gets as much screen time as Miles Teller does, pretty much. But yeah, episodes 2 just focuses on him and the cartel, and that's it.
Okay.
And a lot of people are like, "What the fuck? Get back to Miles Teller and stuff," because they're racist.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but I mean, that's my lingering thing after episode 1 is wanting to know more about why that happened and who did it to him. Yeah. So I haven't watched it yet, but I don't.
Yeah, and that character's journey is just as important as Miles Teller.
Yeah. Okay. So the internet can just shut up and go bitch about that, and that
all comes together. It really does all. I don't want to say there's like this immensely satisfying payoff because it's still a Refn thing, and that's never his MO. Is like, dude, that payoff though.
Yeah.
That's not his thing, but it's definitely it all comes together in a way. People just need to really, really be patient with it, and if you don't have patience for things like this. Or like a Twin Peaks revival. If you didn't have patience for Twin Peaks revival, don't watch this.
Oh,
That's
dude, I had patience for days for that show. Because there were some days where I'm like, I don't get it, and if I don't get it, that means everybody hates this show. Like seriously, I'm just like, dude, if I'm not getting it right now, then I know for a fact that like there are people watching this show just going like, I fucking quit. Like fuck this.
That feels like the overall consensus that I was seeing on like Twitter and stuff. Was like, what happened to David Lynch? I'm like, nothing. He's
always been like this. Yeah,
It's like, did you guys not watch
is this your first one? Cute.
Inland Empire? I mean, Jesus Christ, man. He was that movie was fucking wild, and that's kind of where Twin Peaks Revival went, so I don't know.
Twin Peaks Survivor was cool, and it was really cool because I went back, and I said this on the podcast too, I went back and watched it like almost in one sitting. It was in 2 sittings, and it was I mean, it's a 22-hour long movie, pretty much, and it's it flows really well. If you ever have the time to do that, which no one in their right mind
should. I feel like
should.
I gotta do that sometime.
It flows really well. Like there's no like pondering. Like that's the thing. Like you don't need to be thinking about this show, like because you're not gonna get there. Like the show, it's just watch it and it's all there and it just flows really well. Whenever you're watching, you're like, oh okay, yeah, they were just talking about. They just brought that name up. I don't have a week to forget about a name, or 2 weeks if they, like don't touch on that story arc, the next week, sometimes like they'll throw a name out or a little thing and like they expect you to just remember it for 2 weeks. And it's just like a throwaway thing, but that bears fruit later. And it's very complicated, man. But yeah,
that's why I think Too Old to Die Young benefits from the Amazon streaming availability for sure. Because I finished that in like 3 days and,
makes it easy.
It was easy to remember everything I just saw. Like sure. It was, there's no like, who's this guy again?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So that's my number 3. I don't remember is it JD? I think
me. No, it's me. I'm next.
Gosh, man, you're just
first. I'm sorry,
Kyle. I'm sorry for you, buddy.
No, it's all right. I know what's going on. My number 3 is Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh man, I can't wait to finish this. I got like 4 episodes left.
What's wrong with you,
dude? They're like 5 minutes each. What are you doing?
Yeah, that guy's aforementioned filler. Like I watch like 1 or 2 of them in between shit, and then whatever. I know there's no excuse. I've
man, yeah, there are things in like there were little stories in this. I'm like, well, that was the best thing I've seen all year. I think I said it 3 times like during watching this entire thing. I was like, that was the best thing that anyone's done all year.
Yeah.
And I fucking adore it. I loved all the different arts. So they were immediately they're like, well, that was a hit. We're doing that again. I'm like, yeah, you are. Like, absolutely. Yeah. Keep this going. These little nuggets are great. And I had a couple of friends go like, yeah, I just didn't like the live action one with Topher Grace and Adi McHotface.
The one.
And I'm like, I like that one too. I liked all of them. Some more than others, obviously, but I thought they were all like fun in their own way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a great time. I really like that show. It's one I'm definitely probably gonna watch a few more times as the year goes on. It's really 3 hours. You know, it doesn't take long to get through it.
Oh
JD.
no, not at all. Yeah.
JD.
Hey,
18
look, man.
18 short
You're not
ones.
wrong, okay? I just like spreading out the goodness.
That's very fair of you.
I think my favorite's alternate histories, where they're like comically going through the different timelines with the death of Adolf Hitler.
Oh yeah,
and some of them are just
I like
fucking
that one.
stupid, and I love it. Like a piano falls on them, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Okay. It's so good though. Yeah, I love the totally different art styles coming together under one umbrella.
Yeah.
It's just ballsy as fuck, in my opinion. Yeah, I love that one. I love the Shapeshifters one too. I thought that could have been a full blown movie at some point.
Oh, that was cool. That was the first one, right?
No, that was like 10 or something like that, where it's like werewolves.
Oh, the werewolf one.
Yeah.
The soldiers. Yeah, I just watched that one.
That one was really good.
My favorite.
Everyone kept
so
on talking about that one, and I was like, that's probably not going to live up to the hype. And I watched it, I was like, whoa, that fucking delivered.
Yeah, it's like, dude, that needs to be a full blown movie, man. What are we doing here?
The guy and the girl
Witness one
stuck in the
with
murder loop. Yeah, Witness.
Yeah.
That was easily my favorite so far.
I like
The murder
Suits,
loop I like
where-
a lot. Yeah, that's my favorite.
I like the one where they're all like in mech suits and stuff, and they're fighting.
The farm one,
the farmers. Yeah, and then you
I like
pan
that
out
one
and you realize
quite
that,
a bit. I
like
like
that one's
That
got
could be
cool
a good
little
like. That could be like a good video game and shit. Like,
Yeah.
like get me on that shit. A good co-op multiplayer.
That one
game,
felt very
honestly.
Twilight Zone to me. Like,
Yeah.
something bigger going on here.
Except better than Twilight Zone because that shit's been sucking. So
That makes me so sad. Remember when everyone
great
was really
revival.
Jordan,
Yeah, dude, there were like some episodes that are like fucking great. Like, but there's only like 2 or 3 of them, and then like the rest are like okay to bad. You know, like laughably bad. Some of them, and it's just
Bad.
yikes to some of those episodes. And it's not for any like message or whatever that was like beating me over the head with it, because I know Twilight Zone did that before, where they beat you over the head with a message.
yeah.
That's
It's
why
just,
you don't hit your kids. It's like, whoa, jeez, okay, jeez.
It's just some of. It's just a general execution, like the one where it's like a literal kid is like the president. I was like, this is stupid. It's just dumb. Sometimes it's just dumb.
Yeah.
And that's it just feels dumb. That's all it is. It's not that
It is
you
dumb
just
and
didn't
it
get the
feels dumb.
message.
Everything's dumb.
Everything's dumb. The dumb zone. That's what it would be called.
Dumb, 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 dumb.
Let's go South Park with it. Dum 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 dum. dum.
Oh God, that's great. I'm glad you gave Love, Death, and Robots a little Love, Death plus Robots a little love.
Yeah, it's I got nothing but love for that show.
That's great.
I'm super into it.
That's my number like 10 or something like
Wow,
that.
yikes! Come on, Jeff.
Yeah, hated it, bro. Yeah, but that's like number 10 out of like 80, or I've watched way too many fucking shows.
God,
All right,
yeah.
I've quit a few though. I've quit like 6 or 7 shows because they were just like, okay, I don't have time for this and it's boring, so I'm not watching this anymore on a weekly basis. Anyway,
Whoa.
like American Gods, you're boring.
Yeah.
Don't have time for
Is
it.
it it boring this season?
Super fucking boring
Yeah, I
to
was
me.
afraid
At
that was
least.
gonna
I
happen.
mean,
I liked the first season. Like it was like intriguing.
yeah, I liked it a lot. Yeah.
And then like the thing that I liked about it left.
It's just
the guy who
Yeah.
created it.
so disappointing,
Like
man.
both showrunners left, and then the replacement showrunner left, and like now they're on their third showrunner.
I'm like, yeah, no thanks.
No thanks for me, and I like the book,
Cursed.
so no.
Yeah.
And then Hannah sucked, and that was disappointing for me because I really liked the movie. I don't want to say sucked, but it was just like I have no desire to finish this show. It's totally different than what the movie was. Like she's barely kicking ass in it, and she's just trying to befriend another teenager, and you're like, what? That's not what the movie was. What is this? Whatever. Anyway, moving on to not JD's number 3 because I'm fucking up the order.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
But
JD, what's your number 3?
this one is a little show I just finished up recently as well. It's called OA. OA.
Oh, hey.
OA.
Oh way.
Oh, wait.
Oh way. This is the closest we ever got to a Western realized hentai scene. So I'm really glad
yeah,
that the
like,
show dared to go there.
I was talking when you were at your little cat festival thing. I was talking with Jeff. He was in an airport.
It's not a cat festival.
It's not a cat festival. I'm oversimplifying. But yeah, I'm like, oh, so I'm just watching this tentacle scene right now. Like that's a thing that's just happening. Man, that was fucking nuts. The whole season was fucking nuts in the
That whole
best way.
season
That
was
was
nuts.
so good.
There's like trees that talked to her and shit. It was a wacky season.
Yeah, I really the first season took me. I watched the first episode, and even when I started watching the rest of the season, I would watch in like maybe an episode at a time, maybe two, and then when I got to the back like final 3 episodes of season 1, it was pretty much nonstop. Just what they do with the ending of season 1 really hooked me, and then going.
Which episode is it where they learn? They're like, well, when we go on, like when we die, like we learn, like they start actually talking about learning like the motions. Once they start doing all that stuff.
It's when Homer comes back from where they're trying to keep him awake, and he comes back with that movement. He's like, it's something with my hands.
Yeah.
I think it's like episode 4.
I could not stop watching it after that. After that, I was like, this is fucking awesome. I was like, this is super wacky. I'm really into this.
Yeah, exactly. That's like right around the middle. So the back half was in the back. The episodes got shorter in the back half of season 1. So at least a couple of them did. So it made it easier for me to knock them out. But season 1's finale was just fucking great. And I know, Jeff, you said that people were criticizing it for being a little cheesy because it's got the dance.
Yeah, they didn't like
stuff,
there's a school shooter, better do a dance at him, and some people just didn't like that.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, on the surface, haha, that's funny, that's a good joke, but like in the context of the show, I mean, that was just a really emotional.
I thought it was fucking powerful as shit.
It was.
Seeing all of them together, united in a cause.
Yeah, and because that's what it takes.
And being like, oh, this is what OA was telling us, like them realizing that she was right about, or not realizing that she was right, but they're taking the leap of faith on her behalf.
Because there was always like one or two of them that were maybe on the fringe, or they had something else going on in their life that was gonna, make them lash out against the group and what they're doing. Especially the guy, the blonde kid. I can't remember his name.
Arthur. I just made that up. I don't know.
Arthur.
The rude dude.
Yeah, the guy who's like a dick
he's
sometimes.
Dickbag guy.
Dickbag
He looks like a Trevor. I don't know.
Yeah, he does look like a Trevor.
He's such a Trevor. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're being so Trevor right now, even though that's not your name.
Even though it's not your name, you're living up to it, bud. Yeah, and he's a bud too. He gets the bud. He gets the bud. But yeah, it's just a weird cast of characters. Like fucking Phyllis from The Office is there, and she's really good. And there's not a whole lot of recognizable faces outside of like
Steve,
Prairie's dad, Steve.
Yeah, Steve is the blonde guy you're talking about, right? The
Steve,
dick guy.
that's right. Yes.
I just saw the boyfriend in a movie recently, and I can't remember what movie it was now.
He was.
Or maybe he was
I saw him in.
He was in a trailer for something. That's what it was.
Oh.
Who, Homer?
Yeah, Homer. Yeah.
Huh.
I was like, hey, it's Homer.
I saw him where I first saw him was Brooklyn, which is a Saoirse Ronan movie, and she plays an Irish immigrant, and she falls in love with that actor, and he plays an Italian guy, like Italian guy.
Hey, I come from Italia.
He is so fucking good in it.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Like that's a star-making like performance, and I feel like that's where like his casting for this came into play.
Okay.
He's great in this too, yeah.
Yeah,
I like him in the second season.
Yeah, especially when you get to season 2 and you got a little more like totally switcheroo on his character. And
yeah, right.
Yeah, I love that. I love the switcheroo in general.
Yeah.
They did like a whole. I
like how they just went for it in the second season. They were like, we're fucking going for it. I'm like,
yeah,
absolutely. I've been strapped in since season 1. Yeah, you should fucking put the pedal to the metal on this, on the weird, and they do. They really do. I like all the stuff with the house. The house stuff was really cool. I liked all that stuff.
Yeah.
The mystery of that.
The stuff between the different existences, like just being explained really simply, like everybody, we're all just playing different parts in the same play, relatively between universes. Like all of us are meant to be in our lives, in each other's lives. It's just the context. Like one way or another. Yeah, one way or another, we're all coming together, and that's
like I was like, if you try and break it, like you'll probably go crazy because that's all you know.
Sure.
So like, don't do it. Yeah. It's like, oh, shit.
Well, look, it broke Renata, the guitar player, because she had rejected her reality as a delusion, and it made her fucking go crazy until she re-embraced it.
Yeah.
It's just cool, man. I like.
You know what? It's pretty okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's way
It's way A-O-A-OK.
Way, okay.
Oh dear God, we
can
can
we
do this all
please
day.
move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
I love it. I just wanted to say I love it too. It's like my number 8, so
Cool.
it means I
Oh
hate
yeah,
it.
you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Sure, Jeff. Why don't you look at the definition of that word and then come back at
Fuck
me?
you guys. So my number 2.
Game of
That's where we're
Thrones.
at, right?
Game of Thrones.
My number 2 is When They See Us.
Oh, nice.
That always synced on that, brah.
Good.
Fuck yeah, dude.
When they see us,
Fuck.
brah.
I am so
Is this the cop show
ecstatic
you were
right
talking
now.
about?
I am so
Yeah,
happy
this is the cop show I wanted to
that
bring
we're
up.
all similarly mad about this story enough to care about this fucking story the way that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it got my blood boiling.
Well,
It
yeah, I mean,
really
there were
did.
multiple times where I go, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
I go, well, this trial is going to have a happy ending. That's kind of strange. I thought they went to jail. I go, oh, no, they all got found guilty. That's fucked.
Dude, and I mean, all of the performances are great, but the guy that played Corey, being able to play young
Yeah,
and
what a
young and
badass,
old,
man.
Boy, where did they
Um,
find that guy at?
he was in Moonlight. He was like the gay.
That's
The
right.
gay,
He was the gay
guy that kisses
boyfriend
him.
in high school.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's where I knew him
okay.
from. And man, that guy is, I don't know how old he is, but to be able to, he played 40 and 16. Like,
Yeah, he plays
That's
he plays
crazy.
younger really well. Like
Yeah.
he the way he carried himself, like he just kind of like hunched over a little bit.
yeah,
and
just like,
intimidated
you
and
know, a
stuff.
little, because he couldn't read. So he just,
Yeah.
a little simple minded, I guess. I wouldn't call him like, he's not, you're retarded.
Hey man,
Hey,
He's just uneducated.
Hey,
Hey, I said it like Robert Downey Jr., man. It's okay if you're quoting a movie.
oh, you said it like
that's what you were doing there. I thought you were trying to
That's-
be more offensive.
That's why it's not offensive. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, guys. Come
Okay, I'm there. I'm there.
Don't be retarded. See, that's offensive.
What the fuck? Oh, I'm not gonna find this timestamp and edit it. I'm so tired right now. It's not happening, bro.
Good.
You're just gonna incriminate yourself.
Leave it
That's
out
just
there.
What's gonna
When
happen?
nobody knows what I'm at, where I'm at. I'm not on the internet.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, you're not.
You're gonna lose all your butt patience.
Yeah. I can't wait till
Yeah, you're-
I can't wait till all my non-followers subscribe me. It's gonna be awesome.
No. Somebody will
no,
follow
go-
this guy.
no.
Oh wait, he has 2 followers. We're good.
Like he's like at negative 20. Like people have pre-unsubscribed to my feed. They just give me negative.
Oh my god.
No.
So yeah, that 4th episode was probably the best episode of television I've ever seen in my life. How about that?
So good.
Not okay, maybe not. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but certainly the best episode of television I'd seen all year. That's to cover that long of a time
Yeah.
period and to actually like show it not just through like, well, let's put some age makeup on him, but through performance alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the look in his eyes. That's
Yeah.
really it.
Yeah, it really
dude,
is.
it really
yeah.
It's a soft look and not ignorant, but just innocent look, I guess, to a very hardened, just somebody who's gone through some shit. Like it's,
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything acting wise like that in a long time, where it's
Yeah,
just
it's been a long
that
He's
crisp.
gonna be winning. He's gonna be winning some awards.
Ton
for fucking
Emmys
sure.
for days, man. Yeah.
I suspect this will. This is a mini series, and so is my number 1.
Yeah.
And those two are going to be neck and neck all season long.
Yeah.
Award season long.
Yeah.
But when they see us though, like that episode 4 will take everybody on an emotional journey.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say there's a particular emotional high as much as there's your ass is clenched the entire episode, and then there's a sense of relief suddenly.
Yeah.
If you know the true story, you know what happens.
Right.
But you know what I mean? You're like, oh, there's fucking blood boiling, and then something happens, and you're like, oh, okay, all right.
This is better.
Some sense of relief, but even so, 3 episodes worth of suffering, and
There was a lot. I was like, oh, he found like a nice cop guy that's gonna take care of him. Oh no, he got moved further
my
away from his
God.
mom, and the other cops are worse here. Like,
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
It gives you a little, it takes it away. Like it just.
And the
there's-
cop tried to warn him, like, dude,
Dude, you don't
I
know,
if you want to be a part of
Come
that.
on, man. Like, I'll take care of you here. Like, just stick around.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Logan
And I like
Marshall
that they
Green was really
inserted,
good.
Yeah, he was great, and he's always the bad guy and shit. So that was like deceptive to cast him in. This.
Yeah, it was because you
I
were
was
just
like,
kind of waiting
oh,
for it to
good.
maybe happen.
Yeah.
Like, oh, maybe he's gonna turn, but no,
Dude,
he's
all the
actually like a
parent-
legitimate guy.
All the parents were great. Like, John Leguizamo was, like, fucking killing it, man.
Niecy Nash was.
Dude, where the fuck
fucking
did that come
slaying,
from?
man.
Yeah, no,
I know.
Like, these two, like comedy background people coming in here
Yeah.
and wrecking. Just wrecking
Michael
on an
K.
emotional
Williams
level.
destroys it. Just
Michael
breaks
K.
your
Williams can
goddamn
be in
heart.
anything, and I'm
Yeah.
just gonna gush over it, man. It's
His the kid who because Michael K. Williams, the actor, the person that he played, I think is no longer alive. So,
he was.
They asked the son, like, hey, the real person. Oprah did an interview on Netflix. Everybody can go watch that as a follow-up. But they asked a real person, like, do you ever forgive your father? And he's like, no. He's like, do you blame him? Yeah, 100%. Like,
oh wow.
Like he feel like
he
even though his dad
not resolve that at all.
No, they didn't resolve that shit at all. Like he definitely feels resentment towards his dad. Like just telling him,
man,
just go along with it.
Give them what they want.
Yeah, just go along with. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, but the show does a great job of showing you how tortured he was about that, you know?
Yeah, I thought so too. And he had to have been, and you know that he did it just to like save his son. You know, like,
he didn't think there was any real chance that they were gonna go to jail. Like, I don't think
true.
He didn't know the
there
scope.
was no case. They didn't have a case. They only had confessions.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
So, like, of course, a lot of people, from a logical standpoint, were watching it going, well, they're not going to jail then.
Right.
You know? And then households, like, erupt going, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Like, at least sensible people are at home are watching it going, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? By the way, Joshua Jackson needs to do a show as a lawyer. I don't care what the role is. That dude is such a good lecturer, lawyer.
Like, did fucking great, man.
Yeah.
There's a line, I don't know why this line sticks out to me, where he's talking to Fermi Mergerber, whatever her name is. Verma Vermerger. He's like, you mind giving these kids a fair chance in here? And she's like, what does that mean, fair? And he goes, I don't know, something to do with like justice. And like the way he just delivers that line, where he's just like, are you a fucking sick person? Like, you know, like. These are kids. Like, do you mind just like...
So true.
I don't know. That part really stood out to me. And it was just like, it's just like, you could tell like he was like the moral compass of just like goodwill for that movie. Or that, not that, you know, for just trying to get these kids like on the right track here. And like they had
he's so good at that biting sarcasm shit too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I love his general acting ability.
Yeah.
He's good in Fringe also.
He's good.
He's a good actor.
He's good in Fringe. Good in The Affair. He's great as the tortured dude in The Affair.
Should I watch that while I have Showtime access? I mean, is that
I would say so.
Okay.
It's fucking great.
All right.
Some people didn't really like where it went. At least Twitter, but you know what is Twitter now? Didn't really like where it went last season. But
I heard Twitter was like kind of out on Air at this point. They're like, nah, we're not into it. I think Air's stupid.
Air's
overrated.
Do we really need it? I prefer
all it does is make you breathe more.
Makes you die. Every time you breathe, you die a little bit.
You die a little bit.
I just feel so empowered when I don't breathe, you know?
Fuck, man. So yeah, when they see us, really, really great shit. And sorry if that's stirring up any of your anger and stuff, because you know we do have a president that still thinks they're guilty for some reason.
Jeez.
So fuck that guy.
Yeah,
right?
A little bit. Fuck.
I guess sorry for making it political, but hey, this show bleeds politics.
Well,
so,
no, this is not like a reach to make it political. He's been very vocal about this stuff, so it's not
still
like
to date. Yeah. And like even when the person who wrote all the shitty person that Felicity Huffman plays, by the way,
what a piece of shit.
Pretty sure she's going to jail for real.
She's definitely going to jail pretty soon. Hope she got a book deal.
She's like, hey, I did everything by the books. It's like, that's you really? Yeah.
I'm sorry. I meant the actress playing her is going to jail for real. But also the lawyer.
She's really going to jail.
Yeah.
College.
But yeah, the lawyer, she got like totally like fired, and she was like the DA, right? Like she was like a big deal, big shot.
Yeah.
And she was the one leading the type of trial it was going to be and the type of case prosecution they were going to run, and to the point where like Vera Farmiga, even though she's kind of a shitty person in this, she's even going, "Come on, man."
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I know. That was a cool
like,
turning point, and for me, where even like she was like, "Dude." I'm like, really? You now? Like, wow, really? We're stepping some lines here. All right, cool. Yeah.
Really well made show, man.
Really well done. Great cast, great everything. Everything about that show just was firing on all cylinders for me.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, love it. So Kyle, what's number 2? Oh wait, never mind. We said we synced, right?
Yeah, we synchronized, bud.
We sunk. All right, so we sunk on that. JD, what's your incorrect number 2?
Yeah.
Well, no, I synced on that one too, man. That was a
you did?
three-way sync.
Oh wow, we three-way synced it.
Yeah.
No, I did not. I did not see
I
you.
thought-
When
I thought
when
you
I
said
see you,
should have. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you said that the show was not moving to you and that you didn't watch it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was terrible.
I thought you were
I
like,
agree
they
with
did it, they
Trump. It's like,
confessed.
Jesus, JD, wow.
Look, hey, I didn't see them.
Look,
okay, but I've heard it was great.
They did it. They had big league confessions, big, huge,
Look,
Huge
confessions.
confessions. They were written down. By the way, just real quick, that scene where the kid realizes that like he signed a whole bunch of shit that said some shit that he had no idea that it said it. Really,
Yeah.
I had to pause it
God.
because I was crying so hard.
Real, yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, man, the emotional journey I went on for episode 4 was like I cried at three separate.
Yeah,
spots
I
where,
could
like,
not
It
handle
would be
it.
like
I couldn't.
it would be
handle
like a break between tears, and I'm like, okay, I'm okay. Show's good.
Yeah.
It's back on the rails.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then he finds out, there's a death in the family, and I'm like, God damn it,
Yeah.
this show.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Like, how do you have time for another sad story like this? Like, what? the fuck?
It's so fucking good.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. That show really tore me to pieces. So
I can't recall a TV show making me do that since like it's usually like series finales, like The Office or whatever the fuck that makes me tear up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or like How I Met Your Mother, where you're I don't know, it's just like always like moments near the end of shows.
Yeah,
that you do that, and
right.
this one did it like throughout.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
It's just, like,
It's, hey,
throughout, I'm
reminding
like,
you,
a
people
fucking
are
mess.
awful. Cry.
Yeah.
I know, I'm already there.
Jesus.
Already cried.
Yeah, I'm glad it got the light of day, and
Totally.
it sounds like the five dudes are, I guess, relieved or whatever, like that the story was told. Kind of feels a little bit like a weight off their shoulders.
Yeah.
a little bit.
So.
So they're kind of, they did an interview with Oprah, and they were just like, yeah, it's it's done. We can move past it now. Story's
Yeah.
told. We're done.
Yeah.
We got
Yep.
we got our settlement with the city. So thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
Good for them, man. I mean,
Yeah, man.
I couldn't even imagine. Couldn't even imagine going through anything like that. Coming out the
Dude,
other side.
seriously.
I'm
Like,
never having kids.
no way.
I'm never. I don't want to go through.
Yep.
this.
Never having kids. Yep.
Yeah. No.
like
See, yeah,
The
firming
cops
that
are
up.
gonna
You
take
avoid it.
them and make them, confess to some weird fucking
Michael-
murder.
Yep.
Michael K. Williams, that they, the press and the cops leapt onto the term wilding.
Yeah.
When they were in the park and stuff, and Michael K. Williams was a victim of that for real.
Oh.
And he grew up at that time in New York City. He has a scar on his face because of wilding.
Okay.
And,
Yeah. I didn't.
But when he was watching this trial, it was a different experience for him. He's watching it, with his parents going, well, they confessed, so clearly they did it.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the more the trial went on, he's like, something's not right here. So like, it wasn't like immediate for him because he was like a victim of that too.
Oh yeah. Right. A thing
you
that
know,
was actually happening.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of crazy to think about. Fucking great shit, man. Anyway, so my number one is Chernobyl.
Oh yeah. It's yeah.
Chernobyl's
Yeah,
is definitely number one.
Chernobyl's. Chernobyl.
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 That show really took me on a wacky journey because
Yeah.
I know what happened, it blew up and you
who cares? Big
you
whoop.
can't live there
Yeah.
no more no, I didn't know anything that happened. I knew almost 0% of that stuff, and the mass ineptitude or lack of wanting to do something. Just because of station and we have to think about what people are going to think of us. We can't fail like this. Dude, you did. You failed. A whole area. You are polluting everything. Thousands of people are going to die, and they did. And then you start hearing the death tolls that they never changed, and all this other nutty stuff that they start throwing at you at the end. I was like, cool. I knew nothing about this story, and I'm super glad this show exists. And I hope we get other shows that tackle other events that we all think we know about and show it off in a real and true light, And I don't mind the changes they make and then they come up front with them, at the end of the show, how that one woman represents kind of dozens.
Yeah,
of the
that's fine. We don't
scientists and
need
stuff like that.
15 different doctor characters in the show.
Don't have time for it. It's a 6-episode show.
Condense all that, that's fine.
They're good. Those are good changes, to make a more concise story and everything. And I thought it was just everyone's why are they all talking in English accents? And people were so mad about that. I'm like, you guys
it's just called a choice.
Well, but they've been doing stuff like this forever. They're talking Russian right now.
Right.
That's what I was.
I would rather that than
hearing it
bad, broken
just so
Russian.
Just so that we don't have to read stuff at the bottom of a screen. Just they're talking Russian right now. fix it. Well, they could have gotten people with Russian. Okay, how many fucking top quality Russian actors do you know? Let's get them on here to, fill out 2 spots. And
I think it was the showrunner, the guy who created the show, Craig Mazin, whatever the fuck his last name is. But he was like, we're not going to do. We're straight up just not going to do anything with Russian accents because he felt there was like too much of a comedy element to. It's going to blow up.
He's seen Age of Ultron, okay?
Yeah.
He saw that coming.
You did it, yeah.
Okay?
It's like the thing blows up and everybody goes, "You didn't see that."
Everyone still they meme
like,
that.
oh,
They're still making fun of our accents. We're like, yeah.
No, definitely better to just keep it.
So I understand his choice, and a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I have seen people saying contrary, like who cares about what the accent is, but I understand his choice, and I appreciate that it's still granted them the opportunity to put in fucking incredible British actors in those roles.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Stellan Skarsgård isn't British. He's
Scandinavian, right?
Iceland or fucking whatever. He's from some Swedish. Feels Swedish.
He's from Swedish.
He's from
He's
Swedish.
from Swedish land. Jared Harris is a great. He's a great. Like I didn't expect Jared Harris because I remember him as like Moriarty and like Sherlock Holmes. In the Shadows. Right. So it's crazy to see him as like this vulnerable kind of sad sap character who's gonna get blamed for everything no matter what happens.
Yeah, right.
I love that role for him.
Did y'all see him in Mad Men? Did y'all watch Mad Men?
No.
Mad Men? Mad Men. No, I did not.
Oh man,
I watched like 5 episodes of it, and it bored me to fucking tears.
Oh man,
I'm sorry.
That's a shame. Did you watch the early ones, or did you like watch it in the middle? Or?
Yeah, I can't handle it. Yeah.
I watched the first 5 episodes. I was watching it. I was trying to start it from the beginning.
Okay. I mean, I loved it as a period piece. It was a good week-to-week watch. I could imagine in a binge where it might seem a little boring.
Binger.
But yeah, he comes in later on. He's one of the like bigger guys that comes in, and I think when the firm merges with another bigger European firm, he's one that comes in, and that was my first experience with Jared Harris. He was good. I'm glad I could share that. Yeah, that was my first experience ever. It was great.
Mad Men. They're not very mad, by the way, most of the time.
They're not. They're not mad. But it's because they're ad men, so it's like mad as in crazy,
I don't
not
get it.
angry.
No, I don't get it.
Mad.
That's important. You explain it the less I get it.
Did you get it?
But did you get it?
Did you get it?
I just went on living on my life. So it's crazy. I also have to shout this out because when am I ever going to have a chance to bury this guy a little bit? But the showrunner is the same writer of like Scary Movie 3 and 4.
Yeah, I don't get any of that.
I have no idea.
Worst track record.
I made a whole post about that. I was like, guys, this show shouldn't be that good. This guy has never done anything good.
Yeah.
Maybe he's done a couple things, but mostly it's just like garbage.
Mostly, yeah. He did like that one of those shitty as fuck superhero movie spoof movies. It's just called superhero movies.
Are you joking me right now? Like it's just crazy to me how good this is.
Yeah.
Broken clock territory, like eventually I guess you got to put something out that's going to be right.
Yeah, that's true.
It's weird.
That's a good point.
I just kept on trying and I really knocked it out with this. He's like, now next season, Chernobyl season 2. Like, no,
maybe that's his thing. Maybe he needs to actually do real things about real events instead of parody.
Yeah.
Maybe
he's found his niche.
Maybe.
Because this is this full blown. This is his baby. This entire thing.
Oh sure.
He was a creator, executive producer, and writer, and that's like every credit you can think of as far as putting your name on.
I wonder if that lady was really as stupid about her baby. Like, I'm gonna go in there and touch my husband anyways, even though you told me not to. Who cares about my baby?
I guess maybe. I don't know. She was in love or whatever. Who fucking knows?
I mean, nobody knew the truth of the severity of what was going on.
No, they didn't. That's the thing that I took away from it was like they kept telling her, well, now you can't have babies and stuff.
But she did anyway.
She could. She had babies anyway.
Yeah.
So like, and also dogs ended up. They killed the dogs for no reason because dogs ended up.
They're still there,
evolving, and they still live there.
There's still there's still things about adopt a Chernobyl puppy, like to this day. It's like that's still happening. Yeah. That episode was too much for me. I was like, I can't handle this. Yeah,
and that was not.
And they cast the right guy to go through the emotions of that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The dude from Dunkirk. Yeah. Dunkirk.
George.
Don Schlock.
Cuck Noble.
Best movie of 2017. Don't at me.
It's not. JD, we had a
I'm
whole
gonna at you
we had a
right
whole
now.
podcast.
I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
There's
Don't do it.
literally
Really.
a 3-hour podcast about it. So
Yeah.
Let's do another one right now.
yeah.
Right now.
We did.
Let's
Yeah,
see if our opinions have
Oh, wait.
changed. Oh wait, they haven't.
No, they haven't.
We're fucking Joe Rogan over here with these run times.
Jamie,
All right.
Jamie, pull up that video.
Jamie,
pull
I get,
pull up our
I
video
get these
over there.
references now. It's great with Jamie.
Jamie, pull up our runtime real quick. Let me talk to you guys about DMT and the benefits.
Look, have you ever done it?
You guys ever tried DMT?
I mean, dude, DMT is crazy. Hey, what do you think about the
It's
six
crazy.
fight guys, man?
I mean, it's
You
entirely
guys ever
possible.
think about letting like sports championships, but ran by chimps? You know,
chips?
Listen, Joe, people want to
these are like
criticize
real,
our
like these are like real Joe Roganisms. You know?
They really are. He does bring up chimps.
Yeah,
Fucking
you
thing.
see a chimp, they can rip your face off.
Dude,
Yeah,
when
you
he
bring
gets
it up like weekly.
when he's high,
He brought it up
goes
to Jeselnik somehow, and I'm like, how the fuck did you squeeze that in?
He does it all the time. Like whenever there's any dead air, he's like, "What do you think about chimps, man? They're strong as shit, right?"
He does it when he's high, man.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny. Like when he's high, it's chimps,
Oh, man.
and if it's Alex Jones, it's other crazy shit.
But it's like chimps are his thing. Like it's like his mascot. They're over all of his shirts, and
Yeah.
you know, like it's all chimps for him. So like it's almost like a gag. You know, like,
Yeah. I was like, dude, they're fucking crazy, man. They will rip
fucking
your
crazy
fucking
strong, huh?
dick off,
Fucking
man.
like retard strength. And he can say that because he's famous,
Sure.
and I'm just repeating it, so that's why it's okay.
Yeah, you're quoting him. See, that's the rules.
Yeah, not what JD was doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
even though
what
it's
JD. I was
literally
trying to
the
give.
exact same thing. It's fine. It's fine. I just want the word back, man. That's all I want. I just want the word back.
I want a lot of words back, but we can't have them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
it's for the best.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I guess it is.
We gotta straight up drop them. You know.
I'll tell you what though, Chernobyl, good shit, and it kind of made, and it's funny, it made tourist attractions spike over there,
Oh yeah, of course it did. Yeah.
influencers, yeah.
much like radiation. It just spiked. Sorry.
Hey, you're a
Hey!
funny Geiger. I get it because
Ow,
Geiger.
fuck, man, that's good. God damn it. God, I'm so fucking mad that was good. Shit.
See, this is the highlight of my day is when I say something and it makes Jeff mad.
It's so good.
That's the best.
Shit.
God damn it!
But I'm genuinely like watching this going, I kind of want to go to Chernobyl now.
Right.
Like it's I know that's
Never
like the wrong
wanted to
message,
go to
but
Eastern
Just play the
Ukraine.
sniper level on Call of
shit.
Duty 4. It's the same thing.
just play the same fucking thing. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Call of Pripyat or something. You're there. You're there.
You're pretty much
Stalker.
there.
Hey, Shadow
Close
Infinite.
your eye. You do a little bit of that DMT, and you play that level, you'll be there.
It's a benefit.
Right, Joe? Hey, pull that up, Jamie. Okay, I'm sorry.
Let's get that video up there.
Let's get
God, that is fucking crazy. And then they don't
I
show
think we all went on.
I know you don't see
Uh,
anything because you're listening to it. God,
yeah.
that's crazy. See that? Wow.
Wow, look at that shit. That's crazy. Can't believe they got away with putting that up there. So I think I think Kyle and I at least said publicly. I know JD, you don't really talk much on social media.
No, not at all.
But yeah, Chernobyl is like just one of the best things ever we'd seen all year.
Yeah.
I agree. It would probably fall very near like Band of Brothers in my overall HBO rankings as far as like
I get
favorite
that.
things HBO's ever
that.
done.
Yeah.
And I'm such an HBO cuck, so that's like, you know.
Oh, I know.
Hey,
Oh.
subscription on Mr.
You
HBO.
know. Hey, all their good shit's old, so most of their good shit's old. I don't know. It's okay.
You know,
I mean, look, it's
they're hitting out
look.
the
It's
park
not my
lately,
fault
so-
that they created a month-to-month model that I can exploit. You know,
Yeah, that's
not my
true.
fault. They make it easy.
That's a good point. I mean, if you're not watching Big Little Lies right now, you're kind of
Have
I
I
ever
have
told you?
I have a friend who keeps on just like, you need to go home and start watching that. And I'm like, well, are you watching?
I
Are
okay,
you
it's
watching
really
Euphoria
good,
yet?
but-
And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, then I'm not budging until
Yeah,
you watch.
that's a fair trade actually. Because honestly, like Big Little Lies is like on par with that for me. Like
Wow.
they're
Wow.
both very good shows that excel at doing what they're trying to do.
Euphoria is really blowing my fucking socks off right now. But that would,
But I would never be like, you're not watching Big Little Lies, and I've been told that several times. And then when I finished it, I was like, yeah, it's
Big Little
but, caught up. When I caught up, I was like, yeah, it's really great, but let's chill, let's calm the fuck down about it a little bit, There's a show on HBO that airs on Fridays that I am fucking in love with, and it's called Los Spookies.
Oh, I've heard of that.
God
I'm not
damn
fucking-
it, it's so fucking
Not
funny.
anything.
It's so good.
Sorry.
Fred Armisen's in it. I think he
that's
produced it or something.
you were talking about it. That's right.
Yeah, and it's a Spanish language comedy.
Yeah. Gonna read
there's
exactly.
A lot,
Like, come on,
half
man.
of it's
what,
like
homework?
half of it's English though.
Oh, is it really English?
Actually.
I didn't know that. I was actually gonna check it out because of Fred. I'd literally watch anything that Fred Armisen is in. So
yeah, it's clearly his brand of humor.
He's so
like he's in it. He's in like half of each episode, like doing bit parts or whatever.
Okay.
But like but yeah, the premise is like these group of friends that are obsessed with horror movies and stuff like that decide to come together and create like horror parties or scary things that can like scare people at a mansion or whatever, or you can like scare people, try to attract people to like an exhibit or something like that. And that's what the last night's episode was like they created like a monster costume to get people to come to like the shore or something like that. I don't know, whatever. It's hard to explain, but they basically are expert at like creating like makeup and like setups, like Scooby-Doo type setups, where like, oh, the bed moved because I pulled a lever or something like that. They do shit like that, and it's really, really funny. The characters are just so fucking weird, in a hilarious way. God damn it, it's so funny. But it's only 3 episodes in, so I didn't put it in my list, or it would be up there somewhere, I'm sure. Oh God, my dog's up. He wants to go outside, I bet. Piece of shit.
You should probably ignore him.
Yeah. Hey, actually, I should just say, fuck you. He looks so sad when I said that.
Hey, dog. Fuck you. All right? Fuck you.
Hey, dog. You're on my time,
All
all right?
due respect,
How about,
fuck you.
How about fuck yourself? How about fuck yourself? No, I'm kidding. I love my dog. All right. So that's been this episode of Entertainment Champions Podcast that was totally not split into 2 episodes. No, honestly, we're probably going to
You should probably
Probably a
say
good
that.
idea.
probably a good idea to split up. I don't know where. Like randomly at number 3, it's just going to be me going, "Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week." Like randomly number 3 for video games.
Wow, you guys want to see what the next 3 are? Wow, you better tune in next week then.
So we're kind of hoping, in short, hoping that things kind of improve for movies. Somewhat, like, mostly improve for movies, somewhat get better for games. Even though games still
I feel like we're getting a lot of like great, good games, but not a lot of great games.
Yeah, you're not gonna like. I feel like whenever we do like retrospectives and like the groups that we're in, Kyle, like we're not gonna be like 2019.
2019 was fucking great, right? Like, not really.
So I'm at like 20. It looks like 25 games I'm at right now for the full year. I haven't beaten them all, but I've touched them. I've fondled them a little bit, diddled them a little bit.
It's good. It's good.
And with consent, and I'm again good to great. Some of them I don't want to go back to. I don't care. None of them bad though. I don't bother with that shit. I think Kyle doesn't either.
Oh no! Once I start hating a game, I'm like, you're done.
Yeah, you're done. You're dead to me.
Like I've been playing Sekiro, and I'm like, this game's too hard for me. I'm gonna stop playing it. Like I'm never gonna get it. Like whereas Dark Souls, I can kind of like work my way through it. I was like, this one's never gonna happen. It's never gonna click for me.
That's such a shame because I know that that developer mostly clicks for you.
Yeah, mostly. But this one's just too hard. Maybe I'll try it again, like when I'm clear of mind, body, and soul. But I'm like, dude, this game is asking a lot out of people. Like,
such a
good on you if you're doing it, because like you're like, that's some next level shit, dude. That game's hard. Like that game's real hard. Very humbled.
Damn.
Very bad gamer.
So humble. So that's it for this week, and stay tuned for. I think we're gonna do We're gonna try and get back on our regular annual schedule that we do 2009 games next. I think we still got to do those.
Boom.
And we'll do a tourney on that. Maybe not a 3.5 hour one that we have to split up into 2 episodes. Maybe not, because I don't think it's that. Well, it's a pretty good year. I remember that. I remember some titles that come to mind now. It's gonna be a good episode. It's gonna be fun. So I'm Jeff Whitty on Twitter. You can follow me there if you want me to just tweet my music at you. That's pretty much all I'm gonna do. And some good, correct movie opinions.
Yeah,
because those exist.
I love your music a lot, by the way.
This feels like a lie to me. I don't.
Just gonna keep that joke going. I really do
can
like.
find
I really
JD.
do like your music. That's the thing. But it's just a running joke that fuck your music. I mean, I've been secretly lying about it this whole time.
Mine's not prog rock enough for Kyle. I know he.
Yeah,
I enjoy it. Yeah, man, I have an eclectic taste in music. I didn't used to always like prog rock. Used to. Man.
Hates mine.
Okay,
So much.
That's fine. you should. I need a little bit more like kind of on the 9-minute long side, like guitar solos. If you could work those.
Oh, I can do some layered 9-minute.
He's gonna be recording after our John Mayer show, so he could get
literally right after.
Literally right after
to Macon, Georgia, like 2 days after the Mayer show.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to try any. I pretty much told the guy that's recording me, like, hey, you're probably going to have to rein me in anytime I say I want to do a guitar solo here, because I'm going to come there right after Mayer.
Like, just so you know,
I just don't do solos. Like, I'm not John Mayer. I just can't do it. I can do like layered guitar melodic solos that sound kind of cool, like as their own thing, but like it's not going to be like I can't do that shit. That's for the the pros. Anyway, I like music. So EoC Pod on Twitter, we're on Spotify and YouTube and Facebook and your mom's vagina, and also this new
my favorite venue.
I was hoping to skate right by that and go to the next thing, but I blanked on other titles.
And you laughed, and that was it.
Fucking Apple Podcast. That's goddamn it. That's what I was trying to think of. But most importantly, your mom's vagina. That's most importantly where we're gonna be at most of the time.
Specifically,
in there.
Your mom. Like, you might not think we're talking to you. We are.
It's you.
Surely they don't mean my mom.
You.
It's your mom.
It's yours.
It's yours. Yes, you.
Not ours.
Go ask her.
Not any of ours.
I'm talking about yours. So
we're literally only talking to each other, but we're talking to you.
Yes, you. You there listening with your headphones on.
Yes, Chad,
kinda half
Steve,
smiling.
Bill,
Trevor.
All the names. Yeah. If you're listening,
all the white names. The white guy names you could think of. Fuck, that's great. Craig. All right. Keith. Listen here, Keith. Oh man. All right. So we're getting. I'm getting loopy because I
gotta take a nap.
Yeah, it's nap time for Kyle too. Yeah, because you've been up and about.
Yeah, I've been up for.
And JD's got some back alley butt doctoring to do. So
yeah, I mean, actually, we've elevated our practice from we're no longer the back alley.
No.
Yeah, we're just doing shit out in the front now. So.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm imagining you doing that out in front of a business and just going, "Whoa, this is just."
The back alley's another word for a butt too. So.
Natural AC, man. You got to get that breeze in here.
Yeah, man, don't be weird about it. It's just butt doctory stuff.
Seriously.
Don't be homophobic.
What, you never seen a butt before? Huh? Getting operated on? Never? No? All right. Now you have. You're welcome. $5.
Butt doctors are doctors too. Oh, my dog me laid back down. Oh, thank God. All right. Well, talk to you guys later. Well, not talk to you guys, but come listen to us later. And keep up with us on platforms that I mentioned, especially your mom's vagina. See you guys later. Bye.